glad that for this activity, kanina sa opening ceremony, we have a lot of participants coming from our local government units. And we are hoping that in the next 3 days, they can really look at the different technologies on display, establish contacts and partnerships with our scientists and researchers, and hopefully, yung sabi ko din kanina sa aking opening message na yung impact talaga ng ating activity for the Rstw cannot be measured by what will be happening in the next 3 days. Yung real impact ng ating event will be happening after the event, after the conduct of the Rstw, because we are hoping that after this event, partnerships will be formed, technologies will be organized. We are hoping that the local government officials who are here with us in this 3-day event can actually gain a lot of scientific knowledge that they can actually incorporate in their policy crafting decisions. Who knows, maybe we can encourage some of them to formulate ordinances to support innovative startup development. Kasi sa amin ang Iloilo City, for example, as well as the province of Iloilo, have already both crafted ordinances relating to support our innovative startup. And we're hoping that our LGUs here can actually consider this as potential legislations or ordinances that they can also adopt, because they have come to realize that the development of innovative startup is crucial for developing also our local economy here, not only in Roxas City and other municipalities, but for the entire province of Iloilo. So, in a nutshell, as we have also pointed out earlier, we have exhibits related to the blue economy, to smart and sustainable agriculture. We have exhibits related to next generation learning. We have some exhibits related also to intelligent machines, yung mga basic materials for robotics appreciation. And of course, we have also an exhibit that pertains to the use of new technologies for smart and sustainable governance ng ating mga LGUs in particular, as well as for disaster resiliency. So, we have here not only the secretary, but we have essentially all the assistant secretaries of DOST are here today with us. Kasi may kanya-kanya silang portfolio, and this is also their opportunity to touch base with us, yung mga taga-regions, taga-provinces, so that they can also contextualize yung kanilang mga strategies in pursuing the development of our country to science, technology, and innovation. I think si Sec is still, kasi yung sabi nila, don't talk when your mouth is full, So, we will afford the courtesy to the Secretary of continuing his meal, aside from the opening ceremony early this morning, we will also be having our Balik Scientist Forum this afternoon, and I hope you will find time to attend also that activity. This is really very good. Kasi Western Visayas, I would like to assume, has one of the most number of Balik scientists that are currently engaged sa region, among the different regions. Yung Balik Scientists natin is really a program that was spearheaded by DOST decades ago, but in recent years, it was already further strengthened by virtue of the Balik Scientist Law. So, ang ginagawa natin is that we are tapping the Filipino scientists who are based in various parts of the planet, yung sa US, sa Japan, sa Korea, and we give them the opportunity to come back to the Philippines either on short-term or long-term basis, and then help us further develop our science, technology, and innovation ecosystem. Kami sa Western Visayas, I'm really very proud of our Balik Scientist program. Kasi ang daming magagandang nangyari sa Balik Scientist namin. Like for example, Western Visayas, by virtue of the Balik Scientist program that we have with the University of San Agustin, is considered now as one of the leading areas for drug discovery and development. Kasi may mga magigiling tayo na scientists that really went into this area. They have been studying our biodiversity. In fact, yung ating Balik Scientists sa San Agustin, they specialize on trying to discover potential drugs and pharmaceutical products out of our marine sediments. So you just can't imagine na yun pala yung specialization ng ating mga Balik Scientists. Let me also point out that the region is leading doon sa higher education component ng packaging, product packaging. Essentially because a few years back, may balik scientist tayo sa US who went back to Iloilo and then he decided to stay for good and put up this packaging facility, and that allowed CPU, or the Central Philippine University, and I think we have people here from CPU, to offer the only packaging engineering course in the entire Philippines. No? So wala pang ganong degree program in other parts, in Manila, in Cebu, and in Davao, and other major cities natin. It is only being offered here. And that is because of our Balit scientists who joined us and decided that he would like to spend the rest of his life sa Iloilo instead of sa US. No? So we have so many stories of successful Balit scientists in Western Visayas and of course in other regions. And so, yung gagawin natin mamayang hapon is that we have gathered more of our Balit scientists, and then they will be speaking to us, sharing with us ano yung kanilang mga projects, ano yung kanilang mga specializations. And in attendance this afternoon are our representatives coming from other government agencies, from the private sector, as well as in particular our local government units. Kasi gusto namin malaman ng mga LGUs natin, lalo na yung andito sa region at sa Capiz, kung ano yung mga potential collaborations that they can have with our Balit scientists. Yung sabi nga natin, ang gagaling ng ating mga scientists at kailangan natin sila i-support. I think may potential partnership na tayo between Roxas City and our Balit scientists on smart transportation. We are hoping that it will materialize. So I think by this time, the Secretary is now available to share with us his opening message. And thank you, everyone.
Hello. Marami nang nasabi si R.D. Rowan. Magaling mag-explain yan. We'll open the floor for any question, but let me thank in advance for your attendance. As mentioned by R.D. Rowan, we have strategic programs that are really very relevant for the economic development of any town or city in the Philippines. And we support MSME startups, and of course, we work well with the universities to develop more enterprises out of our research. No? And so, as mentioned, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. More than half of the OST management is here. So if you have questions, we are very open to respond to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary and Engineer Rowan. Before we proceed sa aton nga for the interaction, we would like to acknowledge Dr. Leo Biclar, the Vice President for Research and Development of Capiz State University, representing Dr. Efren Linan. Also, we are glad that we are joined by PTV4 media men, Isaiah Merafuentes, Carl Cordova, and Eduardo de la Cruz. From Business Mirror, we have Bless Ogerio. From Daily Tribune, we have Ma'am Maria Gabriela Baron. And from DOST STII, we have Mary Crystalline Ararakap. Okay, so the floor is now open para sa mga katanungan ng ating mga media practitioners from Capiz. Please approach the microphone here and introduce yourself to whom your question is addressed to.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Secretary, and all the visitors today. Welcome sa Capiz, Secretary. Kaga nakita mo ng Capiz, na marami yun nga. Magandang probinsya ang Capiz po. I am John Bulagalion from Radio Mineral Network, RMN network, but we have a radio station here in Roxas City, DYBR. And my first question po, Secretary is, ano po ang pangunahing layunin natin? Bakit po dito sa Capiz nagdaraos ng Regional Science and Technology Week, Secretary?
Well, traditionally, the purpose of having a regional science and technology week and the National Science and Technology Week is to make people aware of the importance of science, technology, and innovation. But this time, we repurposed what we are featuring in the Regional Science Technology Week and even the NSTW. We actually move it around. Pagdating po sa region, talagang iniikot sa lahat ng probinsya yan. Sa National Science and Technology Week, usually sa Metro Manila lang. We did it in 2022, but then we decided to move it around, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So, outside of Metro Manila, in 2023, we hosted it in Iloilo. Then in 2024, we hosted it in Cagayan de Oro. And this year, it will be in Lawag, in Ilocos Norte. Now, the reason why we repurposed what we will show in the Regional Science and Technology Week is to support the socio-economic agenda of the President, which is reflected in the 4 strategic pillars of DOST. Yung promotion of human well-being, essentially to address our desire to have longer and better quality of life. So we address health, food, nutrition, water, clean environment, clean transport, shelter, clothing, and education. The second desire is to have a wealthy life. So we focus on creation of wealth out of research and development or application of science, technology, and innovation to improve productivity of existing enterprises or create new enterprises to increase more jobs, to create more jobs. The third, as we are economically developing, we might be affected by natural hazards like tropical cyclones and the attendant rain causing floods or landslides, or even strong earthquake events, which would, if so large that we are not prepared, will wipe out the economic development that we have gained and cause so much loss of lives and livelihood. Now, of course, obvious na sa atin na we need to save lives. But sometimes we forget that we also need to save livelihood. So the third desire is to have a safe life and safe livelihood. That's the third pillar. And the fourth is sustainability. To maintain, manage the environment, because most of the wealth that we create are out of the environment, we have to ensure that these resources are also available in the future. So ang ginagawa po natin is to promote circular economy, to avoid just throwing things, and the traditional waste can be converted to new products, even plastics. The other perspective of sustainability is to ensure that the scientific and business gains of local governments and even national agencies like DOST must be continued after our administration. So we're developing smart and sustainable communities all over the country. Roxas City is one of it. Now, this Regional Science and Technology Week is also a way of inviting people to interact with scientists, with business people, so that their ideas of either a research or business will be actually improved. So kanina, and I hope you can actually go around our exhibits, marami kaming startups or students that have ideas or actual companies that are showcasing their technologies. Together with other advanced DOST products and services. And I can see that they have very good ideas at malaki ang potential, but they can also be assisted by other researchers who have more advanced in their research. So this is an opportunity for us not only to make people aware, but an opportunity for scientists, businesses, and ordinary countrymen to interact and get ideas so that we can use it for improving the lives of our kababayans and especially developing businesses.
Next question po, Secretary. Ano po ba ang mga pangunahing technology o inobasyon na tampok kayong taon na maaaring makatulong po dito sa probinsya po ng Capiz?
As mentioned by R.D. Rowan, we're trying to make our exhibits more suitable to the context of the host area. So, anong sikat dito sa Capiz, for example, sa Rojas?
Sure. Seafood.
Seafood, no? So, aquaculture, agriculture, and then we have the Capiz State University as our partner in some of the efforts. Nandun sa kabila naman sa Iloilo, UP Visayas, mga international organizations like ShiftDeck, and other universities in Western Visayas. So that's one. But we also need to look into the presence of opportunities across the different islands of Region 8. So blue economy is another one, and that would include not only aquaculture but maritime transport. We also need to look into agriculture. So we're also launching the Project Saray. Project Saray is the smart application of technologies to reinvigorate agriculture as an industry. But together with that, we're adding more technologies that have been proven to increase the production of many commodities, including rice and corn. And we are now operating Saray all over the regions of the Philippines, coordinated at the national level with UPLB and Dost, no, yung pinaka-center. Our purpose is to engage other departments of government like DA, and more importantly, local governments and farmer cooperatives to apply and use the technologies that we have to increase production. We are also promoting value addition of the harvested commodity so that when there is surplus or when the price is low, they can actually add value to it by not just selling it as raw but processing it. We have robotics, we have mga applications that can be shared with others, and essentially the important comparison between what we produce in DOST versus like commercial companies when it comes to technology is we develop technologies that address common societal or community needs and not technologies that are nice to have. Parang pwede mong gamitin yung technology pero wala ka namang, hindi ka mamamatay o hindi mo masyadong kailangan. And so, it is also an opportunity pala kung bakit namin iniikot yung Rstw. For our regional directors and staff, they go to this kind of events so that they can learn from others and especially what the other DOST regional host is doing so that they can copy this in the region. Kaya nga, I mentioned that Capiz is known for the shell, right? Or kapid daw, twin daw. But I have another meaning for Capiz, pwedeng tularan. So you make copies out of what you're doing here. Mangopya. Kopyahin ang mga ginagawa. Kaya maraming ginagawang maganda si R.D. Rowen, minangokopya mga regional director dito para i-apply sa kanilang lugar.
Maraming salamat po,
Thank you.
Secretary.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, especially to Secretary Solidum. I was with you, sir, in 2003 at Ilocos Norte.
Bata ko pa nun.
During the PAPI convention.
2003?
Yeah.
Tagal na nun ah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for making me remember that I'm already old enough.
Sorry, 2023 pala. 2023 in Ilocos Norte. I'm sorry. Na-overwhelmed lang, sir. Okay, my question is maybe to Secretary Solidum. Sir, can you explain how the community can benefit through this smart sustainable project for the future?
Okay. Let me just say this, that ultimately, all towns and cities need to be smart and sustainable to make sure that the residents in those towns or cities will have longer and better quality of life, wealthy life, and safe lives. No? And there is no other way to reach that without science, technology, and innovation, and the participation and collaboration of everyone. Local government, national government, private sector, communities. No, all sectors. What we're trying to do now is, first, when we select the pilot, we selected pilots for every province. Una yung may gusto na maging pilot. Pangalawa, pag may gusto maging pilot, hindi lang aasa sa amin sa funding, kasi may sariling funding sila dapat. And the initial target was 80, ngayon 111 na. 111 na. More than one pilot per province. And here in this Western Visayas, napakarami. What we do is first develop a roadmap with the local government, how to be smart and sustainable. And then the first thing that we do with them as a project, or the topic that we will address, would be the expressed need for certain sectors to be addressed. For example, yung iba gusto disaster resilience. So marami tayo nun. Yung iba smart agriculture. Marami tayo nun. So depende sa local government and the chief executive para yung strategy natin, yung low-hanging fruit, magawa na so that we can build upon the success. Kasi yung governance yan almost pareho, magkakaiba lang ng topic. So itry muna natin sa madaling gawin na gustong ma-address, and then dagdag ng dagdag. All the other agencies that we think can help us can be part. For example, we are with the DICT, DILG, Development Academy of the Philippines. The Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development wants to join. Kasi nakita kami kahapon. Because DOST and the DSUD is developing a platform, a Plan Smart app, how to develop sustainable settlement. So, napakaraming pwedeng mangyari. And what is important is the willingness to work with us. And ang sabi ko nga, hindi kasi binabanggit ng ating mga kasamahan, kapag DOST ka-partner mo, we can provide you with all the possible technologies and knowledge that we have. So may advantage ka na kaagad. Whatever topics you have, be it integrated flood management, earthquake resilience, economic development, we can help them.
Follow up po, sir. What would be your target na mga beneficiary, like province-wide ba?
Okay. Bibigyan ko ng trabaho si R.D. Rowen kasi although may listahan ako, dapat siya na sumagot nun. Yung mga pilot. Lahat ng probinsya, pero ang babanggitin niya kung sinong pilot dito sa Western Visayas.
Well, for Roxas, for the province of Capiz, syempre, we would like to pilot also yung sa Roxas City. In fact, may mga initial collaborations na kami. The one that was launched earlier, yung ating Safe Roxas, no? Yung ating yung app is already a collaboration between DOST and the City of Roxas. Yung maganda pa dyan is that we partner with them to develop the system in-house. So hindi yun in-outsource. Hindi yun binigay ng DOST lang yung system. Sila yun develop yan. And then we just provide the technical assistance also. In fact, yan talaga yung habol natin na collaboration later on. Hindi yung DOST lang yung magde-develop and then isi-share sa mga LGUs. We would like to develop the system together. We would like to maximize yung opportunities natin to develop more systems kasi hindi na sila dependent on private companies, for example, or sa government, but they themselves can already develop systems like this one. So Roxas is one of our pilot areas, and we still have to finalize yung aming target for the two other congressional districts. But we are not limiting to pilot kasi just for advanced information, Next week kasi, we will also be having a soft launching of the Center for Digital Transformation. It's a small project that we are having with one of our universities, no, yung West Visayas State University. And the objective of that is to really package a lot of digital technologies that we'll be sharing to all the LGUs. So I don't really would like to claim na may pilot talaga because we will try to cover as many LGUs as possible. Isa lang yung requirement, you're willing to use the system. Kasi wala naman siyang bayad, no? So we intend na, for example, dito sa province of Capiz, we intend that all of the municipalities that are interested to use the system can avail of this one. No? So wala siyang bayad sa DOST. And again, the only qualifier here is kung willing kang gamitin yung system. Like for example, we have already automated yung personnel management natin. No? Like in our office, for example, pag ikaw yung head of office, pag nawala ka, balik ko ng opisina, pag mano-mano lahat, ang dami mong pipirmahan. In our office, we do that 24/7, real time, kasi digital na yung approval process, for example. Lahat ng mga communications na pumapasok sa office are being converted into digital format. So 24/7, pumapasok yung lahat ng mga letters sa iyo, lahat ng mga request ng technical assistance, and therefore, immediately, you can already act on this document. So these are just some of the many systems that we have developed. And again, it's not really piloting, but aggressively pushing for the scenario na those who are willing to try our systems will be considered for this. No? The same also for the rest of the regions, the rest of the provinces. May mga systems na kami that are heavily used by our municipalities. In particular, yung Project Signal. Ang dami namin gumagamit, no? That's for response ng ating mga LGU Operation Center. But this time, aside from Project Signal that handles only disaster resiliency, we will cover other dimensions also. So, all municipalities, if I may say, will be pilot municipalities. Thank you.
Okay, ang kagandahan dito sa Smart and Sustainable, may mga concern ang mga LGU. Kunyari si Mayor, tinanong ko siya, meron na ba kayong tricycle hailing app? Parang Grab na pang tricycle. Gusto daw niya. Meron na kaming ginawa sa Tugigaraw. Ang kagandahan nito, magiging safe pareho ang passenger and the driver at mawawala yung mga kolorom. Kasi minsan inaakusahan mo yung driver, wala namang ginawa. So safe din siya kasi malalaman mo kung sino yung pasahero mo. So, this is an opportunity for all of us to fast track the application of technologies that have been independently developed in different places of the Philippines. Yun yung kagandahan ng ginagawa natin.
From Cap Radio.
Magandang hapon po, kayo Secretary Solidum. Sa lahat po ng nandito, DJ Melody po ng Capiz. Yung tanong ko po, di ba nag-launch tayo ng safe na apps? Available na po ba siya for download? Tsaka paano po siya nakakatulong sa sustainable communities?
I think it's still in the final process of being prepared for full utilization. Importante kasi yung app na ito kasi of course we have been positioning Roxas City and the province of Capiz as one of the leading centers natin for seafood sa Philippines. Ano? Yung food kasi, it goes both ways. Maganda siyang industry and it's even profitable, di ba? Kaya maraming pumapasok sa food business. But yung risk din sa food sector is that pag hindi safe yung food mo, pag nagkaroon ka ng instance ng food poisoning, it can really wipe out also the enterprise. And it will also tarnish the image ng ating local government unit. And that is the reason why we are very serious in ensuring that our food vendors, our food servers, our food processing enterprises, and food serving enterprises in Capiz will be safe. No? That they should be following basic food safety regulations also. So yun yung importante sa atin. At magagamit yan natin yung app natin. As pointed out earlier, yung app na yan, pwedeng gamitin for checking kung compliant sa food safety yung ating mga food vendors.
Yun, food safe yun. Pero marami tayong app that are easily downloadable for another kind of safety. Safety from natural hazards. Like Hazard Hunter PH is publicly available, just like Hazard Hunter PH. You can assess any site in the Philippines on what hazards that site will be affected with in less than 1 minute. Kung bahayin ba yan, o malindol ba yan, o pag sumabog isang bulkan, tatamaan ba? So, there are many apps that can be shared and marami pong ginagawa ang iba't ibang mga ahensya and regional offices na makakatulong po at pwedeng gamitin ng mga local government.
Salamat po.
Okay, perhaps Secretary and Director, yung Roxas City Government, nandito yung kanilang city planning coordinator, si Sir Arnold Cantok.
Yeah, please.
Just to give an update on the development of the Safe app. Actually, we already completed the module. We are undergoing some testing. Ite-test muna namin before we actually deploy it sa public. So, yun yung update sa app, Secretary, sir. Actually, nabuo na namin. We are just testing it para siyempre hindi naman maganda na pag-deploy namin may mga bugs at anything. So sinisigurado muna namin na safe yung Safe app. Yun po.
Thank you, Sir
Ang
Arnold.
susunod, kakain na. Pag maayos na yung app.
Last 2 questions na lang, no, for our guests. From IBC,
Sir, I'm Eleanor Defensor Reyes of IBC 13 and DYJJ Rojas. Hindi ko alam kung si Secretary Solidum is from Aklan or from Romblon. But,
Pareho.
parehas sir, no? Opo, kasi po meron pong suspected na fossils na nadiskubre from Udjongan, Romblon ng isang young geologist doon. Grade 9 students na nakadisplay po ngayon sa Memaropa Science High School. Paano po makakatulong ang DOST dito para mapag-aralan po ito at magamit ng ating mga estudyante?
I-identify kung anong fossil?
Parang ano siya, sir, corn, anong tawag dito? Corn coral, tsaka cetacean bone.
Okay.
Kasaklan.
Yeah, I mean, of course, pagdating sa mga ganyan, we have to look for experts that would be relevant to identifying what kind of species that, kung anong age. And so the DOST can connect with other experts in the scientific community. Doon, taga-Odjongan po ako. Pero ang grandfather ko ay taga-Ibahay Aklan.
Ibahay Aklan po. Sir, second question po. Boracay is malapit po yung sa fault line at saka very susceptible po sa mga ground-related issues like sinkholes and ground sinking. As the DOST Secretary po, ano po ho yung opinion natin sa plano pong pagpapatayo ng Boracay Beach?
Okay. You have the hazard hunter to check where the exact fault is. No, maraming haka-haka dyan kung saan exactly. But you can check it. Ang importante is you just don't build on top of an active fault. And whatever you construct should be built according to the expected strength of the shaking. You have to build that beyond the expected shaking and follow the building code. So wala namang restriction except that don't build directly on top of the fault. Ang fault naman dyan sa dagat.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
thank you, ma'am. And from PTV4,
Hello po, Secretary. Good afternoon. Isaiah Merapuentes from PTV4. Sir, Secretary, just want to give a highlight regarding dun sa DOST scholars na mga nabanggit nyo kanina. Ano sir yung current status nito sa ngayon all over the country? Ano po yung balak natin? Especially, I think for 2026 budget, isa rito sa gusto nating tutukan.
Well, we have different scholarships. One would be the Philippine Science High School. The bill expanding the operation of the Philippine Science High School is with the Office of the President. where legislators want to add more, at least 10 campuses in regions where there are a significant number of passers but cannot be accommodated because may limit ang capacity ng teaching. We manage 120 students per year, every year, no? So we need to have more campuses. Second, we asked the House of Representatives to increase the stipend of our high school scholars. Kasi 12 years na, hindi pa nag-i-increase. That's one of our agenda. We have another form of scholarship. This will be undergraduate. As long as they're into science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we can provide scholarship. We have around 50,000 of them. And to improve the operation, the Science Education Institute, to address sometimes there are cases where the university host does not prepare right away some of the necessary documents because they tend to collate all the scholarship requirements. So parang sinasama lahat. What we decided is to directly give the stipend to the students and not through the university. Para direct na, mabawasan na yung delay. But we also provide scholarships to masters and PhD. We want some of the topics like artificial intelligence, analytics, nuclear sciences, virology, biotechnology, circular economy to have more scholars because this would be the sciences that we think we can capitalize on to accelerate the development of the country. And that would include robotics, quantum computing, smart agriculture as well. Because they needed to be reinforced in terms of the manpower. So pagdating sa artificial intelligence, DOST led in the crafting of the National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, which was approved by the President, and the implementation strategy framework. So i-operate na lang yan ng mga different agencies. But DOST will focus on one, building a sovereign database, meaning AI can be used by everyone. But to take advantage of AI, you have to have your own data. So ang DOST nagbibuild ng sariling data to further use this data to be fed in an AI language model so that we can serve the public better. So for our MSME all over the Philippines, we have a project now that will cater to MSMEs by providing AI as a service. We're also building a center for AI, but this will be democratized where we will also work with our regional offices. For those cities that are interested to have their own AI efforts, okay lang yun. Marami pa, but all of those are critical. Now, since ang tanong mo is a scholar, we are also conducting entrepreneurial upskilling program for all our scholars in DOST. Those interested, undergraduates, can avail of this entrepreneurial training, after which they can actually pitch for their own startup companies. So yung ibang mga bata doon, baka mga na-train na namin yung sa entrepreneurship. We are providing our scholars an option not to be employees but to be their own employer or boss after they graduate.
Secretary, just to make it more specific, yung numbers ng scholars currently, are we requesting to the President ba na maging doble ito o at least kahit kalahati yung madagdag?
No, we're maintaining the same number. Ched has a lot of state university colleges have free tuition. They're like scholars already. So ang aming focus would be on the STEM.
Okay.
So, sa ngayon, hindi pa maximized lahat. So, we're just maximizing it first before we decide. Let's see the trend in the next years. But definitely, on the strategy is to increase the scholars in Pisay so that we can have the value chain of adding more researcher and engineers later on. Kasi hindi naman sa college pagsisimulahin eh. Dapat sa primary education.
Pero Secretary, currently ba, are we seeing any challenge to engage yung mga kabataan natin na maging parang mag-enhance into science, sa technology, maging engineer or something related to science?
Yung engineer, meron ng ano dyan. Yung engineer kasi common na yan, no? The sciences would be, I think the opportunity for them to excel when we actually develop more startups out of science and technology ideas. So what we're trying to do is put up more innovation centers all over the country and hopefully the establishment of eco-zones inside universities. Ito yung knowledge, innovation, science and technology parks. We hope to have more universities approved with it so that they can invite companies, especially international companies and other national or even local companies, to set up operations in the universities. And so they will need the human resource, and this can be produced in the university. So kung nagawa natin yon, I think more people, especially the parents, will be interested in making sure that their kids would go to science and engineering kasi may ready work na. Kasi ganoon lang naman yun eh. Where is the ready work? So kung meron ka mga companies within universities, mas madali nating maingganyo. So establishment of knowledge, innovation, science and technology parks, startups, and allowing our researchers, students to spin off companies, mas maingganyo natin, mas nadami.
Secretary, last na lang, regarding lang sa electric cars, isa rin sa napansin namin kanina, during sa exhibit, though kahit sa bansa naman natin, even in other provinces and even sa NCR, meron ng mga electric cars, are we targeting ba na time will come, years will come na puro ganun na yung mga sasakyan natin?
Well, at some point, we are trying to lessen the amount of fossil fuel as energy for our cars. Yes. Ganun na rin. Malay mo, later on, may hydrogen batteries na. We actually have a research for fuel cell, hydrogen fuel cell batteries, nire-research na. So, yes, we have prototypes for electric tricycle, converted tricycle from the traditional gasoline-fed tricycle to electric. We have e-jeepneys. We're now converting a bus to an electric bus. We have prototypes for electric boats. Soon we will launch an electric ferry in Pasig River together with UP. So marami, even hybrid trains or hybrid road trains, we're doing that. So eventually ganon. Kasi we want to really go back to a stage where we can decrease the carbon dioxide. As we develop, there's a looming threat for all of us. If we cannot reduce the carbon dioxide emission, then the threat of climate change will be there. And it will be very difficult to undo. Kaya importante na lahat ng bansa ay patungo dyan. Although the Philippines is not a major emitter of carbon, we have to do our part as well. But slowly, hindi pwedeng biglaan. So we need to develop our own technologies.
All right. Thank you so much, Secretary.
Thank you, Sir Isaiah. And for the last chat, we have last.
Hello, magandang hapon po. Welcome to the province of Capiz. Pero nakita ko wala kayong seafood sa table nyo. Try yung seafood.
Actually, lang, pinakita lang sa amin yung picture. Yun yung seafood.
Picture lang po muna sa ngayon. Sige po. Pero wag niyo pong katmutang subukan. I-try yung seafood dito sa Capiz. I'm Grace Santillan po. I'm Darida from Provincial Government Radio Station. Yung tanong ko po, related din dito, pero singit ko lang, grab the opportunity na kaharap ko kayo ngayon. as you discuss about sustainable and safe community, tapos in terms din sa disaster preparedness natin, no, bilang radio station ng provincial government, affected din kasi LGU dito. About forecasting po tayo ng Pag-asa. Alam naman po natin, andito si Pag-asa sa likod ko, kinakalabit ko siya, dito siya sa gilid ko. Alam naman po natin na every 3 hours yung pagbigay ng forecasting. No, nagsa-start po yan ng 5 a.m. tapos 8 a.m. na yung susunod noon. Yung problema kasi ng local government unit, alam ko hindi lang dito sa Capiz, pero the whole nation dito, kailangan po nila mag-declare ng suspension ng klase in between 6 to 7 a.m. So minsan nasisisi si Mayor, o bakit ngayon ka lang nagpalabas, o ganito, ganyan. So si Mayor lagi nasisisi. So kasi nag-ano lang kasi sila sa forecasting din ng Pag-asa. Pwede po ba, or posible po ba, na mag-forecasting tayo every 1 hour?
Okay.
Pwede po ba yon?
Hindi ganyan ang sagot sa suspension.
Yes po.
Okay. Because you're suspending classes or government work for the whole day. If you want to have like every hour, then are you planning to suspend just for a specific number of hours or for the whole day? The answer to your question is it is possible. With the artificial intelligence and big data analytics, we are already implementing the integration of AI in the weather forecasting of Pag-asa with the intent of having this indicator from 5 days to 14 days, from compute time of 3 hours to 15 minutes, and from a 3 square kilometer to at least 2 square kilometer focus. But that's not the answer to the problem. Let me explain. There are many weather products of Pag-asa. People are so focused on the hourly or 3-hourly forecast. That's not the answer. Pag-asa has a 24-hour forecast. Okay? 24-hour forecast. And traditionally, 5, 11, mga ganon. 5 p.m. or 11 a.m., 5 p.m., 11 p.m. So, it's 24-hour forecast. So, for example, in 24 hours, Pag-asa says that the range of the total amount in 24 hours will be 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. Ang kulay niyan is yellow. And then if it's 100 to 200, no? Meron niyang kulay, and then more than 200. Mas either purple or red yun. Anyway, the guidance is this. Matagal nang ginagamit yan. If yellow, local government can decide based on the 24-hour forecast. So hindi pwedeng manisi ang local government dahil naghihintay sila sa ang 3-hourly forecast, especially for heavy rain forecast yan. Ngayon, kunyari, 24-hour forecast, pero merong oras na may torrential rain, pero short-lived, hindi rin pareho na, oy, umulan naman, bakit hindi ka short-lived lang yun eh. Ang ibig sabihin ng 24-hour forecast for the whole duration. So, ang gamit dapat ng local government is the 24-hour forecast, not the every 3-hour forecast. Yan yung ginagamit sa national level, 24-hour forecast.
So you mentioned po, Secretary, yung artificial intelligence forecasting, no? Yung tanong ko lang, gaano ito ka-accurate?
Well, you know, pag sinabi mong artificial intelligence, eh parang bala na ang computer. Noong unang panahon, hindi mo maririnig yung data analytics. Ginagamit, ano na lang, statistical approach lang, and with the massive data, mas mabilis na yung computer. May tinatawag na machine learning. So, ang kailangan mo dyan ay i-feed mo yung model mo with the data and see how it performs. So the more the questions or the tries that you do, the better it will be. And so if you have more data and more localized data, then it will be more accurate than before.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Secretary.
Thank you. And thank you for your time, Secretary Solidum and Party, and for interacting with our local media men. Sir, parting statement na lang po for the celebration and for
Okay.
our media men.
Well, let me first thank the media, local media, national media. This is one of the most well-attended press conference that we had in the region. So this is really showing us that our colleagues from the media is concerned with the application of science, technology, innovation. Marami pong mga issue na nangyari ngayon and of course in the future, but science, technology, and innovation can at least partly solve many of these issues, especially digitalization. And once we have all of this, many applications can be developed. Narinig nyo na sa Safe Rojas. Pero marami pang apps na pwedeng mas maging safe. Hindi lang sa pagkain, kundi sa disaster. No? And so, I'm very thankful that you are here because now you can actually share the good news. Siyempre, ang headline grabbing yung bad news. Pero sana, mas maraming good news. And for us in the UST, we follow our mantra. We provide solutions and open opportunities. And that's for everyone. Kaya, please spread the good news and thank you.
Okay, salamat and sa ating mga panelists, salamat for your time. No? So, wishing everyone a successful and inspiring Regional Science and Technology Week. Sa ating mga media partners, thank you for your support and see you sa Science and Technology and Innovation exhibit doon sa Robinson's Place. This will be until September 12. September. Thank you very much and good day, everyone.